All right, so here we go. We're talking about vision boards, and I wanted to talk to you about the areas that I typically focus on when I'm completing a vision board. Now, it could take me a while to complete a vision board. So for the sake of time, I'll just kind of talk to you briefly about the areas that I focus on and why I focus on those areas. And then we'll also talk about the rookie mistakes that people make and why people struggle so much with creating or completing vision boards, okay? So the 5 areas, or the 5 to 6 areas that I'll be focusing on this year and what I typically focus on throughout the year. The very first one is, you can read that, it may be backwards, I'm not sure, but I focus on having a mission statement. And here's why. I rarely focus on pretty pictures. I really focus on a mission statement, and everything else centers around that mission statement. Because if you have a mission statement, like many major companies or many major organizations, the mission statement keeps everybody on task. If you get off course or if you're struggling to complete a task, you can always focus back on your mission statement, and that should bring you back to center. So it's always important for you to have a personal mission statement too, to make sure that as life will throw its curveballs, you can always go back to your personal mission statement and really get back aligned. So I'll share personally with you. My mission statement is very general, but it makes sense for me. It says that I will live a life that's inspiring, that will cause others to be inspired, where they take action on their life. Okay, so that's my mission statement. I want to inspire people, and I want to live a life that's so inspiring that other people take action on their life. Okay, so everything else that I do in the other areas that I'm going to put on the vision board will focus in on that particular mission statement. Okay, so that's always number one. Always have a personal mission statement that's going to bring you back to center, and make sure it's personal and it's really your personal mission statement. It's not a copy of anybody else's mission statement. It's what you want to live by, what you want that year to look like, and what you are trying to center on for the year. Okay, so my 2019 year is going to be one of inspiration. Okay, so that's the first thing that I put on my vision board. All right, the next thing that I focus on is, what do I want my spiritual journey to look like? Okay, so I'm a child of God, and I always want to make sure that my relationship with God is constantly growing and it's constantly getting healthier. And so for me, it's making sure that I'm connected to God. Now, I say spiritual versus religion, right? Because a lot of times religion can get us off center. And so I always ask people what their spiritual walk looks like. For some people, it may be long walks in the park. It may be sitting in silence. It may be meditating. It may be yoga. It may be a variety of different things, but making sure that you have a spiritual diet and you're attending to your spiritual diet. And I always put that on my vision board too. What do I want my spiritual life to look like, or how I want to feed my spirit man in 2019. Okay, so those 2 things are key for me: your mission statement and your spiritual walk or your spiritual journey. All right, so those are 2 things. The next one that I always focus on too is financial growth, financial wealth, financial management. Where's the money? How do I want my financial plan or my financial budget to look like? What are some provisions I'm putting in place to assure that my finances are intact? Okay, and that's very important too, because you want to make sure you have some sort of diet, some sort of rainy day account, multiple streams of income. You know, you're creating that for yourself, but I think that's important to put on the vision board as well. Financial plan, financial management, financial diet. Okay. The next one is professional growth. Okay, what are we doing to grow in our career? Are we trying to change jobs? Excuse me. Are we trying to seek a new job? Are we trying to climb the corporate ladder? Are we trying to remove ourselves from our job and go into an entrepreneur career? Are we trying to just make significant moves and significant strides in the on our professional job? So I always put that on my board too. What am I trying to do in the professional world? And how am I trying to grow in the professional world? Am I trying to take more courses on management? Am I trying to complete more online courses? Am I going to different management conferences as it relates to my particular job, as it relates to your particular job? What are you doing professionally? Okay, so that's an area that I focus on. I focus on family. How can I be more connected to family? How can I make sure that my family and I are talking, we're communicating? How can we remain connected? Family members that maybe I haven't talked to in a while, how do I connect back with them? How do I make sure our bond is healthy, that there are healthy boundaries in place, that we're spending time together? That's very important to me because I'm very close to my family. So making sure that I have a plan in place for family togetherness. Okay, or if I want to grow my family, am I trying to this year have kids? Am I trying to get married? All those things, right? So what does your family life look like, or how do you want it to look in the new year? Okay, so those are the areas that we talked about so far: family, professional growth, financial growth. Your mission statement is very, very important, and your spiritual journey. In all of those areas, financial growth, professional growth, family, spiritual journey, should lead back to your mission statement, because that was the very first thing that you put on your board, right? All right. Then also leisure is important. How do I unwind? That's the question that you want to ask yourself. How do you unwind? How do you make sure that you can recharge, reboot, unplug from social media, unplug from all things, and just have time to relax and rejuvenate and really take care of yourself? Is it more traveling in the new year? Is it just spending time by yourself and really getting to know yourself? What are you doing leisurely to take care of yourself? Okay, I find that to be very important. Creativity is very important, because creativity opens up Pandora's box, and it allows you to really come up with new and exciting ideas. A lot of times people will spend time adult coloring, taking a new class, engaging in arts and crafts, because it allows you to work that other side of your brain and come up with new and fresh ideas too, and not become so stagnant and complacent. So creativity is very important, okay? Personal development, very important. So those are all areas that you can put on your board and you can focus on when you're creating a vision board and when you're looking for pictures. Okay, so I said mission statement, I said professional development, personal development, leisure, family, financial management, your spiritual journey. Okay, all areas that are very important when you're looking at creating a vision board. Okay, and then you seek pictures that will attribute to those particular areas. So when we talk about rookie mistakes, and I love talking about this too, because a lot of times in my business, when I talk to women about creating a board, it's not that they can't create the board. Anybody can create a vision board. Anybody can stick pretty pictures on a board. People were having trouble with giving themselves permission to do what it is that they said they wanted to have on the board. Okay, and so it's very important. That's when we talk about rookie mistakes, you have to be able to give yourself permission first to say and to do what it is that you put on the board. So don't just focus on pretty pictures. Don't just stick a picture on the board. Make sure that you're being intentional about what it is that you put on the board, okay? And make sure that your vision board is uniquely your own and not a copycat, not something else that somebody said that you should do, but what your heart desires is so important when you create a vision board. Okay, so let's talk about the rookie mistakes that some people make. Okay, sometimes people, one, they focus just on, like I said, the pretty pictures. And you don't want to do that, okay? Because you'll just be putting pretty pictures on a board and they won't have significant meaning. So make sure that you focus on the areas that I mentioned, but also make sure that you focus on what it is that your heart desires. Okay, make sure that you're putting whatever is going on that board, that you're willing to give yourself permission to seek it and to obtain it, whatever it is that you put on the board. Okay, all right. The next rookie mistake that people make is they make all long-term goals. Okay, on my board, I will put short-term goals. I will put goals that I can complete within a week or two, because it's important to have some low-hanging fruit. right? If you always have long-term goals on your board, sometimes long-term goals can add up to, a year, 2 years. And if you don't see anything come to fruition, you may get discouraged and you may just kind of put that board off in the corner. So I encourage people to put some low-hanging fruit on their board, meaning goals that you can obtain in like a week or two. Saving, opening up an account, opening up another account. Well, you can complete that in like 2 or 3 weeks. If you're having trouble with financial management, that may be something that you can complete in 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, so try to have some low-hanging fruit and some fruit that's going to cause you to stretch, some goals that are going to cause you to stretch and reach a little bit. So you need both short-term goals and long-term goals. Okay, those low-hanging fruit, the short-term goals, are going to help generate energy and momentum so you can keep going to really reach the long-term goals. Okay, so keep that in mind. Don't always just have long-term goals on your board. Okay, the next one is, a lot of people don't focus on the mission statement. Okay, so make sure that you have a mission statement. And when I talk about mission statement, I can be, it relates to your purpose and your why. Okay, having a mission statement, it doesn't have to be anything fancy or long-winded and a paragraph. It can be very short, and it has to be something that resonates with you and that you understand. You don't have to explain it to anybody else, but make sure you have it on your board. And what I like to do is put my mission statement in the middle of my board, because when my eyes go there, it always brings me back to center, literally. When my eyes focus on my vision board, or when I'm looking at my vision board, I put my mission statement in bold letters or in a different color, so my eyes always go back to it. So make sure your mission statement is framed and it's in the center of your board, okay? But make sure you create one, all right? The next one is, again, I said people focus on pretty pictures. Don't just focus on pretty pictures. Make sure that all the pictures on your board have significant meaning. Okay, so those are just really some quick tips about a vision board that I wanted to give you guys. I hope that you guys are creating your vision boards and that you're really trying to obtain what it is that you have on your board. All right, so if you love this video, if you think that these tips were helpful, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at pen and pin1. All right, y'all. Happy creating. Love y'all. Bye-bye.